What exactly has worked well for Blitz in fundraising? And since the time you began with the Shark Tank copycat, and since the time you realized about the customer's need and you started building trust with investors, what exactly has worked for Blitz? And are there any repeatable processes that we all can learn from?
Oh, there's lots of repeatable processes. Update your investors. Send a monthly newsletter. You'll be shocked at how many few founders don't send updates, or rather, how little founders actually send updates to their existing investors, let alone future investors. I have a list of 2,500 investors that I've spoken to. Every time I have a meeting, let's say I had an investor meeting today, the first thing I do is I copy his email, I add it to my mailing list, even if he doesn't want it. Why is it important? Because these updates is why these people put money into me in the first place. Every person on my cap table has said no to me at least two times before they put money in. The clearest example of this would be Iterative. Iterative is a YC style company. I pitched to him in 2019, 2021, two. He put money in 23. It took him 4 years, or actually 5 years, to build conviction. And it's really that. And you can search a really great article. I can't remember who wrote it, but it was called Investing in Lines, Not Dots. Effectively, when you meet an investor, or anybody really for that matter, that's the first and only impression they have of you. I, in my head, again, because I read all these stupid books and they told me that it was so easy to raise money, assume that if I met you, you're going to give me a check right then and there. Only twice in my life has someone actually done that. I got on a Zoom call with an angel investor. He transferred 100K after the call. That was the only time that happened. The other time was the judges themselves on Shark Tank. So it's a very unlikely scenario you run into somebody where, unless you're just really that popular that they'll give you money hand over fist, but very unlikely someone's going to give you a check right away. More likely than not, you have to build conviction, right? You actually have to build a lot of rapport with them before they agree to commit. Same thing with money. So the best and the most fail-safe advice I can give that'll work in any scenario is just keep people you meet engaged, whether it's a client or whether it's an investor, and it'll bear fruit eventually.
While we are on investors, did you tailor your pitch or did you change your narrative to different types of investors as and when you met? Were there any differences in investors from different locations or impact investors and non-impact investors? Any advice there?
I researched whoever you're talking to beforehand, what they like, what they don't like, talk to people that they have invested into to get more info. I used to do this for every investor, like meaning I would reach out to their portco before I met the investor. Now it's not as, there's not enough time. So I'm only doing that for really big investors that we're really trying to hook in. But you have to really cater to your pitch to who you're talking to, understand what their backgrounds are. In my example, we have two types of impact. We have social impact. Actually, we have four things we can talk about. We have social impact, we have climate impact, we then have the logistics model itself, and then we have the EV side of things. So depending on who I'm speaking to, I will hammer home the topic which I think will resonate with them more. So how I got Suraj was I was telling him all about the climate impact and all about the driver impact, and it resonated with him, right, because of the SDGs. But how I got my last investor, which is the supply chain companies, I really hammered home about our logistics and how we've built that ecosystem, right? So different things work with different people. We're talking about the same thing. It's just you're highlighting different aspects of the company. And everybody that has invested money, at least in me, and I'm sure they can attest to similar things with other portcos, is that you tend to build your own thesis depending on what you like most about that. Fundamentally, though, they have to like you. So what has helped me over the couple of years is try to be less arrogant, be less emotional, and learn active listening and active speaking skills. I think that's the single biggest thing you can do to tailor your pitch is learn how to actually pitch.